Hi. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I can start. Okay, so I have a talk about the nunc and Teia, and transition from the nunc to Teia actually. So my name is Dan, and thank you for having me here. So this is the story of transition from nunc to Teia, and how we approach decentralization on our community. So you will have more information on what's going on other blockchains as well. So nunc is an open source NFT marketplace from Brazil, founded by Rafael Lima. So, and Teia is a marketplace as well, established by nunc community of the contributors. So it's sort of a continuation of the nunc, but currently it's independent fork with different settings and values. So the marketplaces are on Tezos, and Tezos is a proof of stake blockchain. And now it's quite a popular blockchain for the NFTs, and especially for the generative and interactive art. And for example, our friends from the broader community are also presented very well here. Projects like Versum, Object.com, and FX Hash, they're also on Tezos. So a little bit about me, about the speaker. So I'm a product designer and product owner. I'm coming from a traditional Web2 startup world. And recently I was actively contributing on nunc as a part of Hackathon, which is sort of an accelerator for the futures and other elements at the nunc ecosystem. And currently I'm actively contributing on Teia. So I will explain a little bit like market situation 1 year ago. So it's a short overview, and why nunc was a demanded phenomenon. So when artists were discovering a new space where they can sell their art, and it was a little bit challenging because when they're trying to get into Ethereum market, the problem was that there is a huge gas fee on Ethereum, so you have to invest quite a lot of money if you're just not already not in crypto. So you're just starting, you're just like a traditional artist, or you don't have this such of experience and enough of funding for the fees. And then there is curation also. So people were looking for invitation, like for the foundation and other platforms to get just into, to start selling. And then I just name it like massive attack. So many people just came together and started to explore and started to mint. So the competition was increasing. So yeah, and also that's for some artists and climate activists, they already knew about eco issues of proof of work, so which is used on Ethereum. So, and as a solution, so nunc was kind of solving those issues. It's pretty well described in the article by ArtGnome. So here is the title of this article. So you can read about the nunc. It's pretty well described. So nunc, like it's based on the proof of stake, and it's eliminate like ecological concerns. Then it's financially accessible because the minting fee price is like below $1, and then it's fully decentralized because there are no curation, so anyone can post, anyone can mint almost anything, and yeah. So and it has attracted an amazing generative artist. For example, like Mario Kleiningman, and he's like with nickname Quasimodo, maybe you know, and also climate activist and artist like Johnny Lemercier. So you can see on the picture, okay, it maybe doesn't work, this laser. Okay, so, and yeah, and then Mikol, Vertical Crypto, was organizing talks and streams with supporters of this platform, and like I think we had the talk every week with various artists and contributors. So in my personal opinion, that this factor of having support from known artists and from like known like active people on social media, on Twitter, they actually helped to this platform. So the technology and also support from the artist. Okay, so it's a little bit of overview. And so other aspect of the platform success is that it was possible to upload and mint various file types, such as, of course, like JPEGs and videos, but also 3D and SVG with m.JavaScript, HTML files, audio, PDF, and more. And it's not the case for the most of Ethereum platforms, for example. And back then, and still now, I think, more or less. So this native support of JavaScript is opening many possibilities for generative and interactive artists. So for example, you can see the first one is an interactive piece, so a music player. And it's a collaboration with a musician from Dead Can Dance. And the artist, so you can interact, you can play with this NFT. So it's thanks to the technology, it's possible. And then here is examples of generative art like the Macchio. And yeah, another piece, it's actually from Quasimodo. It's a state of art on the nunc. So it's basically all the NFTs on the platform, like from the beginning till some April. Yeah, so, yeah. Then, yeah, and like, of course, we have like different types of art, and especially like pixel art is very prominent, and 3D art, but 3D art not as a video, but also as interactive NFT. So the first one is actually interactive NFT, interactive 3D NFT. So just an overview about the art. Okay, so and the platform is open source. So besides the open doors for the artist, nunc was open also for the collaborators. And yeah, and everyone can come, bring their ideas, and implement those. On the GitHub, you can put like issues and pull requests. So contributors implemented features for the front end and other like people organized PR channels and online events. So new public battery indexer was implemented for the platform and some other tools. And here is the example of the ecosystem and the third-party tools. So you can see like a lot of tools. They are implemented by the community, not by the platform itself. So there are like different variations of the front end, for example, and there are like tools like for batch minting, discovery tools, some filtering, yeah, so statistics and such. So everything was implemented by the contributors thanks to the open source approach. And yeah, so it's another initiative is Hackathon. It's an accelerator by the community. So it's like hackathon, but long term. Yes, and we had about 150 participants there, and over 650 NFTs donated. And it was funded by Tezos Foundation mainly, and also the people. So, and we had like different groups. Like you can see this list, but it's about the futures or or like how you interact with the community about values and documentations and such. So people are working on improvements of this marketplace. Yeah, and this is like how we approach a decision on the hackathon. So we implemented a voting tool for this, and we use this voting tool to define like people opinions about which tools, which features are going to be implemented, which features are like better rated, and also the funds were distributed according to those votes. So, and actually there was some algorithms like we had like different weights for the votes. It's depend on if you're like participant of the hackathon, so you have like another weight, or if you're like random ballots holder. Yeah. So, and the output, for example, here is like new design system, music feature. It's a hand radio. Now it's more or less independent project. Then DAO tool itself, the voting tool, then indexer, and collab contract with verification. So it was a quite unique feature because like you are not like distributing to random wallets you are defining, but they have to verify that they agree with this collaboration. Yeah. So. Yeah, and yeah, so like we attract a lot of people, gathered resources and funds, implemented new features, and the platform was running pretty well. So $1 million volume, and many helping artists with their like we were helping many artists with their like real bills, real life bills, and it changed a lot of life for many of those. So ecosystem was growing. And yeah, and during first of the half of the year, it was the biggest NFT platform on Tezos. But one beautiful day, it was discontinued. So at some point, founder of the hackathon decided to discontinue. We don't know exactly the reason. I think he was overwhelmed or he had some personal reasons. But he switched off the domain and deactivated Twitter with 70K followers. So people are asking, like we're asking, what is like happening? Like, where are the NFTs? Are they safe? Yeah, and because like website doesn't work, front end doesn't work, like Twitter, there's nothing on Twitter. And the answer is yes, it's alive, because we had the community, we had the mirrors, and it was open source, so we kind of copied front ends. Then we are using already existing contracts, and we had the mirrors, public indexer was available. So we had the supporters and already existing contributors. So we kind of had two main groups of contributors, which is one like hackathon core team, and then hackathon team, like bigger one. Yeah, so here is like we had the temporary name like hand community together like forces and rebuild the community, and here is like explanation about the structure. That's in the core. It's a front end, of course. So we established our own like front end, so our own website. So like a main mirror. Then we established Discord for discussions, for some synchronization with people. Then we had on-chain tools like for voting to decide something, and of course like social media, Twitter. So and NFTs are on the blockchain, so the data of the NFTs. And we also supported IPFS. Yes, it was like one of the main things, so the NFTs can live, continue living. So like yeah, so the hackathon and the core team and sponsors, service providers, third-party developers and collectors, artists, they all came to the Discord, to the space, and we kind of secured the project. Yeah. So and then we decide that we discussed that if we are going to keep original name, which is HiketNunc, so we just added the C, like HiketNunc community, or it's better to rebrand and start with a new name because this name probably belongs to the creator. The project is open source, but name probably not. So we had a process on the Discord initially. We discussed like if we're going to change or not, and we had the first phase of votings on the Discord as well, and then people were suggesting names, and then we had like final voting process on a blockchain because we had this tool. So that's how we end up with the Teia name, which is on Portuguese, like it's a web. Yes. So yeah, and this is like a description maybe about our approach, how we make decisions. So we are on the way to DAO. So we are starting discussions on the Discord, bringing like suggestions or ideas, and then we have groups. We call them guilds. Yeah, and they decide if there are like small technical decisions. So they decide internally, but we are building also consensuses internally, and also we're voting on off-chain. So we use Discord and we use other tools like Starvote. If this consensus is not like achieved, so we use this voting. And for the more important decisions, we put like more complete proposals on the forum, so people can read in one place. So they shouldn't like read all the discussions on the Discord. And then the community is voting on our voting tool, so it's on chain. And yes, so and we are like trying to keep the values that we have no gatekeeping, that anyone can come, suggest ideas, and then here is the process how it will go. Yes, so here is like internal structure. That's for the development we have guilds, and it's for day-to-day operations. So there are culture, then design, development, security, and PR, communications, operation, and DAO. So they are like dedicated for those topics. Like for example, development, they are implementing features for the front end, and design, of course, like improving design. And then we have a multi-sig DAO. We call it mini DAO, but it's just access to the wallet. So there are 15 people there. It's for approving transactions on the wallet. So no one like controlling, one person is not controlling the wallet. There are like 15 people from the community, and they can execute together, they can approve transaction on this wallet. And the community itself, so it's for the community level of decisions. This is the current structure, and we are implementing DAO, so it will be slightly reshaped. But guilds will be still working. And we have like a new proposal. It's external structure that's more for the partners. So basically we can work with other platform if they support object NFT token. So because currently we also support listing from original HiketNunc, and we have our also contract, Teia contract. So we have two contracts right now, original one and our own, and we are open for other contracts for the object token. Yes, so we are discussing also with other projects that we can like work together and support the object NFT token. Yes, and regarding DAO governance, it's a work in progress. We already implemented like number of contracts. Some elements we still have to define, but in general, we are going to be like non-profit company, and the funds will be distributed to the contributors through some voting process, approving the features and such, and then also to ecosystem if they also deliver something or helping to the community. And for the governments, for the voting, here is just the voting shares, how we see it. So 70% of the volume of votes are token holders. So governments token holders, and we use quadratic voting system for calculations. So that's, for example, if I hold one token, then I have one vote. But if I holding 10 tokens, I have not 10 votes, but I have 8, for example. And if I have 1,000 tokens, then I have 500 votes. It's like we're balancing this monetary factor of DAO. So not only people who are actually investing money there, then can also they can have also bigger vote, higher this balance. And then other part are representatives. They have 30% of share, voting share, and it's for diversity. They don't have their own tokens, but they're like sub-communities. So you can organize your smaller community to represent your views on your group of people, and then you will get you will be excluded from quadratic voting system. So and you will have a heavier weight than individuals in this quadratic voting system. Yeah. So this is we are currently implementing and deciding on some details. Yes, and it's about just explanation what is object NFT token. So it's original token from the nunc, and we support this token because we're kind of continuing as a community, and also object.com, which is the most popular platform at Tezos right now. They also list those tokens. They also work and variable, and some other tools, mirrors, and new upcoming platforms. And for example, maybe Version will support it as well. So here is one token, object.com, on a few platforms, and the goal of Teia was keeping this token living and keeping supporting people who were investing to this ecosystem or token. And yeah, and the nunc actually alive again 1 month ago. Yeah, so it just appeared. So owner decided to continue again. And I just have this comparison for people if you are interested what is the difference. So between Teia and nunc. So it's the same object token, the same minting contracts. So it doesn't matter if you mint on nunc or Teia, it will be the same token, and it will appear on Teia, nunc, and object.com, and Rarible, and other platforms on the previous from the previous slide. So it's the same ecosystem of object token. Both are open source, so you can contribute on Teia or maybe on nunc. The community mostly moved to Teia right now, so we have active community of contributors. So it's a regional core team of nunc, then Hackathon and you. And nunc itself, I would say it is open for contributors, for contribution, because for now I think it's smaller team. It's unknown, more or less, and it's more or less like a private project by owner, and we are a community-owned project, so we have no owners. Yeah, so and decisions are always passing some processes in the community. So we are like DAO by fact, so we don't have maybe all the tools, like needed tools, but there are no people, one person who will decide. So there is always some process of building consensuses. And the nunc is more like private and the internal decisions. And they also have own token, which is HDAO, that might be used for the governments. We don't know. And on Teia, we will have our own token as well. So, and on Teia, we have new features because we are adding new features. Like we are continuing for about a few months So you will see new features such as collab contract, interface update, and so. And then, yes, and then I was describing about other contracts we support, swap contract. So it's about listing. So we support listing from Teia itself, then from Hicket nunc, and probably from object.com. We're currently discussing this. And other platforms can also like join to this exchange of contracts. And on Hicket nunc, there are one contract for now. So we don't know like how it will work. Yeah, so it just basically that's it. And it was like the story that we are decentralized and we have contracts, and if you have the community, if you have like active people, and if you have like open source element, then you can actually save the project, and if something will happen, it's everything on the blockchain, and if you have like expertise and have like passion to support it, it will be living. Then yeah, if you have enough of supporters. Yeah, so that's probably it. Here is just like our contacts, and yeah, thank you.